really the only thing that we could talk about Nintendo showing off at E3 at their Treehouse live streaming event, since they didn't do a traditional conference. They stopped doing those. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. So this is a open world Legend of Zelda game in third person, like most of the games you've seen on the console in the past Nintendo consoles the past 20 years, besides the handhelds. It looks very interesting to me. The art style, let's start with the art style. Absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah. It's very, very
beautiful.
pretty.
So it's sort of cell shaded ish, but not entirely. You could say it's like semi cell shaded. Is that safe to say?
I don't know if I'd even call it cell shaded, but it's just it's interestingly contrasted, the colors.
You start as you wake up, a shirtless Link who has boxer shorts on. It looks like
You have no idea why you woke up there.
you have no idea where you are. You have to go around and you find your clothes. You don't start with the weapon right away, and you have a female voice telling you, oh Link, let's start the mission.
Right.
You're coming into the world instead of having a character tell you, which is interesting too. So what was interesting to me is that it sounds like at first you basically play as you want to play.
Yeah, right from the get-go, they say you can play as you want. There is, I believe, one small mission that they were detailing in a minor playthrough where basically you have to do some tasks for, I believe it's like a king or a person you meet on the plane, which is the first area
An old man you meet on the plane.
Yeah, where you have to get a glider because you cannot get off the plane without this glider.
Yes.
But basically after that, you're free to do whatever you want. As a matter of fact, Aonuma said that you can, if you wanted to, go directly to the final boss and beat the game without doing a single other thing.
Really?
If you're a good enough gamer and you've got the reflexes for it,
with shitty weapons and shitty armor,
you can beat the boss outright, directly.
You guys gotta probably walk a long ass way, but you can you can get.
Who knows? And there's just so many departures here that are interesting to me because they make the game more enticing for me, but I wonder what they're going to do for other Zelda fans. First of all, you're not just limited to a sword. You can have a spear, you got your bow and arrow. Link can have more than one weapon.
What I think is interesting is that the weapons break. I saw you get a shitty sword that breaks after using it too much.
Early on, like in other games of this sort, your weapons have a durability. So Link can be using a sword and have it break on him or go down in power. There is crafting in this for clothes and armor. For one of the first times I can really remember in a Zelda game, I mean, there was a shot of him making some pants, and you could see your armor stat going up. Like it showed like what would happen if you equipped these pants. It seems like gone are the days of breaking pots and cutting down grass to find little hearts.
You can still cut grass though.
Well, that's good. But there's been like a huge focus on the fact that there's a cooking system now.
Yeah, so you can find apples, or you can warm up, make like an apple sort of quiche.
Right.
For more energy.
This is a mix of the traditional, the modern Western style RPG and a Japanese hack and slash action adventure like The Legend of Zelda. And I wonder if this is going to turn some people off. Now, everyone's enthusiasm for it seems pretty high, and I gotta say, this is probably the most excited I've been for a Zelda game in quite some time.
Mm-hmm. Why wouldn't you be excited for this? This is what else could you do fresh? You had one game where it was over a water world, one in the sky, and this is the first huge open world game. They even said this is like the 30-minute or 20-minute demo, 30 minutes on the plane. That's 1% of the environment of the entire game. 1%, right. They said. That's insane.
Sure.
That's means it'll take you probably 8 hours to walk across the game.
Well, I mean, they always say these things and they always blow them out of proportion.
Well, you get horses and find...
And it ends up taking 2 hours or an hour and a half.
You find a canoe and you automatically go across.
Right.
You find a warp somewhere.
But, I mean, they're definitely plotting this out to contend with the likes of games like the Elder Scrolls series.
Yeah, people are saying, oh, this is like Skyrim. It's like, what? So?
Well, it's not... Sure, it's like Skyrim. It's also like every Western RPG since the Apple II days where you basically have free reign to do whatever the hell you want. I mean, Ultima kind of gave you that to a degree. But yeah, it's exciting. It's a Zelda game that I will buy, and I'm interested in seeing how they handle things like traditional dungeons in this game as opposed to side quests.
They're called shrines. and you can go and defeat them in any order, like the last guy you said. You can go.
Right.
So it's really what you like, how you want to play the game.
Yeah, early reports, which I think were later refuted, but I'm sure something like that will exist. There's going to be smaller shrines and then larger shrines that'll be more traditional. Smaller shrines I'm envisioning being something like a cave in Skyrim or Oblivion or something like that, where it maybe takes you half an hour to clear out, whereas then there will be, probably more larger storyline missions. I'm interested in how they will kind of bridge the gap here, because the director said that he knows that some people are afraid of these large open world games, and he's hoping that this game is going to be the game that eases people into it. So I'm very interested in seeing how much hand holding is there if you want it, as opposed to the freedom to do whatever you want. Now, obviously, if you can really go and beat the boss right off if you want to, that's a lot of freedom. But there are definitely people who are going to want a story path, and I'm hoping that there's at least a good amount of prodding and pushing that will allow the people who want something resembling a traditional Zelda game to get that.
I would think that when you find your way to new areas, that you talk to people and they'll tell you about stuff to do.
I mean, it's not like you're just going to wander around a wasteland with nothing to do. I mean, I can't think of any game that's done that really.
But I like how
Rust.
So far, even in the limited demo, which is a Great Plateau, which again they said is like 1% of the game. You can like cut down trees. You could light like a branch on fire and clear some brush or some grass area by putting on fire, and it goes away. So this is some interesting stuff. Like, this is stuff that when you're combining different aspects of weapons, like you said, like putting together pieces of objects you find, that appeals to even someone like me, where I was like, I wouldn't care about Zelda games that much in the past generation. Now I'm like, okay, I'm on board.
And it doesn't seem like they're abandoning the puzzle aspect, which is a big part of the Legend of Zelda games as well. I mean, in that demo in the trailer, they show them, chopping down a tree to cross a chasm. So, I mean, that seems kind of natural, but it's very important that they keep, especially in shrines or dungeons or whatever they do, that they keep that puzzle aspect in there. And I think that's going to be integral to giving the game a Zelda feel that people are going to be comfortable with.
Now, some people tweet at me or said, do you think this is still a Zelda game or not? I'm like, of course it's a Zelda game. They're just adding different features.
Yeah.
I think one of the biggest complaints from people was always like, oh, the Zelda series is too similar game after game. And it's like, well, now you're getting something totally different.
Yeah, see, and this is where I'm curious.
Zelda 2 is not a real Zelda game, right?
Yeah, but Zelda 2 is something different. Everyone wanted change in Zelda games, and now that they're getting it, I guess this is the thing. I haven't exactly seen the backlash, but if I went looking for it, I'm sure I could find it. Everyone wants change. Is this too much change? For me, this is all the change I needed to actually be interested in one.
Sure, because now it's just not just go point A to B to C back to A.
Because Nintendo's amazing at building worlds. They're incredible world builders. They make great characters. There's that Nintendo touch is something that's intangible, that feels great, looks great, and they make worlds that are fun to inhabit. Yet now we actually get a modern take.
We also comment on the fact that this looks gorgeous on the Wii U.
Yeah, supposedly they were saying that there's not going to be any difference between the Wii U and the NX version.
Besides graphics.
Oh, really? They did say that? Okay, because I thought they said it would be the same either way. I know that they were demoing the Wii U version, though, and it looks amazing.
Yeah, this article from My Nintendo News says that different visuals on NX but same experience, which makes sense. That's probably the easiest thing to scale up.
Yeah.
Is the visuals. Which is one of the reasons why, remember, folks, game's been in development for 5 years. There was a demo for this back in 2011, when the Wii U was still not going to come out for like a year.
That wasn't really a demo. That was a graphics demo for the system.
They were putting it together. The enemy that you see in the game was there, like that.
Okay, I'm not going to count that.
It's been a while. It's been in development for a while. They keep pushing it back. If I was on the fence, I'd probably say, okay, I'm going to buy an NX anyway. Might as well get the newer one, which looks nicer.
Give me a bundle.
But even this one looks fantastic. So it's a real Zelda game. I think it's bold. It's almost like, why didn't they think of this sooner? Does it bother you? Some people are bothered that Link is right-handed.
No, it actually bothers me to a huge degree. And I'm just not going to get into it.
Does it really? No, I got to hear
this.
No,
it really does. Because he's been left-handed forever.
And you're one of those dirty lefties.
And I'm a lefty.
You need a role model.
And I like the fact that he was left-handed. and they keep fucking switching it back and forth. And maybe he's the most ambidextrous hero the world's ever seen, but I liked the fact that Link was left-handed.
Do all the Links have to be left-handed? There's more than one.
Well, no, there's tons. So you're right. They don't all have to be left-handed. The reasoning behind it was because the action buttons are on the right-hand side of the controller. I'm sure. I mean, fine, whatever. I mean, I'm not like actually that worked up over it, but I was kind of bummed because the first thing I did, I was like, "Is he? Fuck! He's holding his sword in his goddamn right hand."
They mirrored it for the the one game on the Wii, so you can use the
yeah, exactly. He's a lefty in Twilight Princess on the GameCube, but he's a righty on the Wii version because they flip-flopped the entire game.
That was the best solution. I'll just flip-flop the entire game and put no work into it extra.
It's just mirror image everything.
That's like so weird. So instead of walking left towards something, you walk right.
I believe so, yeah.
That's so fucking weird. Mm-hmm. That's insane. But okay, this looks cool. I like seeing a young nubile shirtless Link. No, I'm kidding. But I guess that answers the question whether or not he's male or female in the game. Some people thought he was going to be a female. He's a male in this one too. So I saw some people complain about that. That's a whole other issue. All right, this is going to come out next year, and I'm on board either way. It'll either be my last Wii U purchase or my first NX purchase.
Yep, that's how I feel.